Good evening. Be careful with getting with somebody that still have feelings for their ex. Let's say their baby moms or their baby dads or their ex-wives or their ex-husbands, because I had the red flags in the beginning. My husband, my current husband now, hasn't completely closed the door with his ex-wife. So I married him. I found out a day before we were supposed to get married that he still stores her stuff. I was storing her stuff at his apartment complex in a garage, and that he had to go help her when she had a flat tire, even though she had a man already in the picture with her. And also their kids were grown, late 20s and middle 20s. Every time their kids would have a disagreement, she would call my husband. She would send him a text for 911. So he would rush to her to comfort her because she was upset because the kids were having a disagreement. So a day before we were to be married, my husband, we were supposed to be moving out. I moved out of my own separate property that I had before my husband, and I moved into his apartment with him, and he was going to move out of his apartment once we bought our community property together in Terrell, Texas. So when he was getting ready to get the stuff to move out, she had a whole side of items that was hers stored in his garage. And he said he always helps her. He has always helped her through all his relationships. And she's always been there for him through all his relationships in time of need, whether that be sexual or not. So I found out the day before we were to get married, because we were boxing stuff in his garage. Half of the garage was hers, tires, you name it, anything for house, for her house, you name it. So I had the red flag right there. I could have called off my marriage before I married my husband, because the red flag was right there to ask him, hey, are y'all done with each other? If y'all are done with each other, why are you storing her items? And why, when she get a flat tire, she's on the side of the road, she's calling you and not her current boyfriend to come change the tire, and you go running to change her tire. And anytime the kids argue, and the kids are 30 and like 25, you got to run to console her because she say the kids are arguing and they live in their own separate property somewhere else. So y'all, when we get with these people, these new people, and we let these new people in our life, and it's red flags, because it was red flags in the beginning, and I probably shouldn't have married my husband unless I knew he was completely over his ex, which he is not over his ex. We need to ask them, is there something going on? We need to ask them direct questions. Why are you storing her property? Why every time when she calls or she has a flat tire, you got to go run to her? Because how are you going to run two households at once? Now, if they wouldn't want us to do it to them with our exes, us running back as the wife between two households, they shouldn't do it to us. So y'all, let's take some accountability and selecting the wrong men that we allow into our lives.